99% of people believe that fruits are among the healthiest, most nourishing foods we can eat, and in many ways, they are. But what if one simple fruit, the same one you've enjoyed for years, was quietly disturbing your sleep, causing you to wake again and again through the night? For many older adults, frequent nighttime urination, known as nocturia, is one of the most common and frustrating health concerns. While age plays a role, science now shows that what you eat and when you eat it can be a far more powerful trigger than most realize. Recent studies from the National Institutes of Health and Harvard Medical School reveal that certain fruits high in acids, enzymes, or natural sugars can irritate the bladder and disrupt the body's fluid balance at night. The good news is that there are also fruits that do the opposite. They calm the system, balance the bladder, and help restore deep, uninterrupted sleep. Understanding which fruits to choose and when to enjoy them can make the difference between a restless night and true rest. In today's story, we'll explore 8 key fruits, 4 that you should avoid, and 4 that you should add to your daily routine to help prevent nighttime urination and reclaim peaceful sleep. Before we begin, tell us in the comments where you're watching from and how your nights have been lately. Stay with us until the end to learn whether the fruits you love are truly helping your health or quietly working against it. Now, let's begin with part 1, the 4 fruits you should avoid. Number 1, oranges and grapefruits, the hidden irritants. It often begins with the best of intention. A glass of freshly squeezed orange juice after dinner, a few slices of grapefruit before bed, the kind of habits that once symbolized good health. Yet many older adults wake a few hours later, frustrated, walking the familiar path to the bathroom in the dark. The irony is sharp. The very fruits long praised for cleansing the body may be the ones quietly keeping it awake. Have you ever noticed that your bladder seems busier on nights when you've enjoyed something citrusy? That's no coincidence. According to the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, more than 60% of adults over 60 report increased nighttime urination. And one of the leading dietary culprits is excess dietary acid. Citrus fruits like oranges and grapefruits are high in citric acid and ascorbic acid, both of which can lower the pH of urine. When urine becomes more acidic, it irritates the bladder's delicate lining, much like lemon juice on a paper cut. Harvard Medical School researchers found that in older adults with sensitive bladders, even mild acidity can increase the urge to urinate by up to 35% during the night. What feels like a healthy choice can quietly create a cycle of irritation, urgency, and lost sleep. This doesn't mean these fruits are bad. They are in fact excellent sources of vitamin C, antioxidants, and fiber when eaten at the right time of day. But timing is everything. After sunset, when the kidneys slow their filtration and the bladder becomes more reactive, acidic foods act like small sparks in a quiet room. They wake what should be resting. Enjoying an orange after dinner might feel refreshing, but to an aging bladder, it can feel like an alarm clock ringing before dawn. A study from the Cleveland Clinic found that seniors who shifted citrus consumption from evening to midday reduced nighttime bathroom trips by nearly 30% within 2 weeks. One retiree from Arizona, a lifelong believer in evening grapefruit for digestion, discovered that her midnight awakenings vanished once she moved her fruit to breakfast. "It wasn't my age, it was my timing," she said. That simple change returned peace to her nights. For those who love citrus, moderation and timing are key. If you crave oranges or grapefruits, enjoy them before 2 p.m., when digestion is strongest and bladder activity is calmer. Avoid juice late in the day. The liquid form is more concentrated and enters the bloodstream faster, amplifying the bladder's reaction. Always consult your physician if you have kidney disease, bladder sensitivity, or are on medications that affect acidity levels, as these fruits can alter how the body processes certain drugs. The message is not to fear fruit, but to respect your body's rhythm. Health is not only about what we eat, it's about when we eat it. The same fruit that energizes your morning can disturb your night. As the body ages, its harmony becomes more delicate, and wisdom lies in listening to it. Sometimes, peace after dark is simply a matter of choosing daylight for the foods that shine too brightly at night. Number 2, pineapple, the overactive enzyme. There is something deceiving about pineapple. It Its sweetness feels light, its tropical scent refreshing, and for many older adults, it has long been the symbol of health and vitality. Yet what appears harmless can quietly turn the night against you. Imagine lying in bed, your stomach gently rumbling, your bladder suddenly stirring, and your rest slipping away. You wouldn't suspect that the innocent slices of pineapple from dinner could be part of the cause, but for many they are. According to the National Institute on Aging, digestion slows by nearly 30% after the age of 60. This means that the foods eaten later in the day, especially those with strong natural enzymes, stay active in the stomach longer than they used to. Pineapple contains bromelain, a powerful digestive enzyme that breaks down proteins. During the day, this property is helpful. At night, when the body is preparing to rest, bromelain can overstimulate intestinal movement, creating subtle contractions and gas buildup. That internal motion presses on the bladder, sending misleading signals that it's full even when it isn't. In a 2019 study published by the Journal of Urology, researchers observed that bromelain increased bladder activity by 22% in adults over 65 when consumed within 2 hours of bedtime. To the body, it feels like this. While the brain wants stillness, the stomach is busy working overtime. The intestines nudge the bladder protests, and sleep is lost to an avoidable cycle of restlessness. This is why many geriatric nutritionists now recommend treating pineapple as a daytime fruit, best enjoyed before 3 p.m. When digestive energy, known in circadian medicine as the gut clock, is at its strongest. Consider the story of a 70-year-old retired nurse from South Carolina who swore by her nightly ritual of pineapple slices after dinner. She believed it eased constipation and kept her digestion clean. Yet every night, she woke around 1:30 a.m. to urinate, sometimes twice. When advised to move her pineapple snack to lunch instead, she hesitated, certain that one fruit couldn't make such a difference. 2 weeks later, she laughed during a follow-up call. I still eat my pineapple, but now I sleep through the night. If pineapple is a favorite, the solution isn't elimination, but timing and moderation. Enjoy a few slices no more than half a cup earlier in the day, ideally paired with protein or yogurt to balance digestion. Avoid eating it cold or right after large meals, and never before bed. Those who take blood thinners, antibiotics, or digestive medications should consult a doctor before increasing pineapple intake, as bromelain can alter how certain drugs are absorbed. The lesson is one of balance, not restriction. The same enzyme that energizes the gut by day can unsettle the night if used carelessly. The body's wisdom lies in rhythm work when the sun is high, rest when it sets. Pineapple is not the enemy. It is a reminder that even the healthiest foods need the right time to serve us well. When we honor that rhythm, our nights become quieter, our mornings lighter, and health returns not through force, but through understanding. Number 3, tomatoes, the late night provoker. Few foods feel as comforting or familiar as a fresh tomato. Sliced onto a salad, blended into soup, or eaten plain with a touch of salt, it tastes of home, simplicity, and health. Yet for many older adults, that same beloved tomato may be quietly disrupting the night. Picture finishing dinner, feeling satisfied and ready to rest, only to wake hours later with that all too familiar urge to urinate. The connection might not seem obvious, but inside the body, the chemistry tells a clear story. According to research from the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, tomatoes are naturally high in citric acid and oxalic acid, 2 compounds that can make urine more acidic and irritate the bladder wall. In younger adults, the bladder lining is thick and resilient. In older adults, it becomes thinner and more sensitive to acid exposure. Harvard Medical School notes that acidic foods like tomatoes can lower urine pH by as much as 20%, increasing nighttime bladder activity and the feeling of urgency even when the bladder is not full. In simple terms, what seems like a harmless salad topper can act like a spark that keeps the bladder awake. The problem grows worse when tomatoes are eaten raw and late in the evening. Cold, uncooked tomatoes retain higher levels of oxalic acid, which can form microscopic crystals in the urinary tract. These tiny crystals may irritate the bladder's sensory nerves, creating a sensation of fullness and triggering unnecessary trips to the bathroom. A study from the Mayo Clinic found that participants who eliminated raw tomatoes from their dinners reported up to a 30% reduction in nighttime urination after just 2 weeks. There's a story that illustrates this perfectly. A retired couple from Ohio had a nightly routine of tomato and onion salad with every dinner. They believed it was a healthy, heart-friendly habit, yet both often woke 2 or 3 times a night to urinate, each assuming it was just part of aging. After their doctor suggested replacing raw tomatoes with lightly cooked vegetables like carrots or zucchini, they were skeptical, but agreed to try. Within days, their sleep improved dramatically. We didn't realize something so small could make such a difference, they said. For those who love tomatoes, the goal isn't to give them up entirely, but to use them wisely. Cooked tomatoes, like those simmered into soup or sauce, are gentler on digestion because heat breaks down much of the acid that irritates the bladder. If you enjoy fresh tomatoes, have it at lunch rather than dinner, and avoid combining it with spicy or acidic foods. Always consult your healthcare provider if you have kidney stones, urinary tract issues, or reflux disease, as tomatoes can aggravate these conditions. The deeper lesson is about awareness, not restriction. Tomatoes have nourished generations, yet the body's relationship with food evolves with time. What once energized the system can, later in life, overstimulate it. Listening to the body's quieter needs is a mark of wisdom, not weakness. When we eat in harmony with those needs, choosing warmth over acid, softness over sting, we allow the body to rest. And often that single act of understanding turns a restless night into a peaceful one. Number 4. Grapes. The gentle troublemakers. There's something innocent about grapes. Their smooth skin, their sweetness, the way they burst softly when bitten. It feels impossible that something so small could disturb the body's peace. Yet for many older adults, those same handfuls of grapes enjoyed after dinner may be silently keeping the bladder busy long after bedtime. Have you ever noticed that on nights when you snack on fruit while watching TV, you wake more often to urinate? That's no coincidence, it's chemistry, not age. According to the National Institute on Aging, digestive efficiency declines by nearly 25% after the age of 60. This means that foods rich in natural sugar and skin fiber, like grapes, can linger in the intestines longer than expected. As they sit, their natural sugars begin to ferment slightly, especially when eaten on a full stomach or late in the evening. This fermentation produces gas, which presses against the lower abdomen and, in turn, the bladder. The bladder doesn't distinguish between internal pressure and real fullness. It simply sends a signal to the brain, wake up, it's time. In addition to this mechanical effect, grapes have another hidden issue. The skin of the grape contains tannins and mild acids that can irritate the urinary lining when digestion slows. A 2020 study from the University of California, San Francisco, found that older adults who ate large portions of fruit late in the day, especially grapes and watermelon, had a 28% higher rate of nighttime urination compared to those who limited fruit intake to earlier hours. The issue wasn't the fruit itself, but timing and quantity, two small details with big effects. There's a story that comes to mind about a retired accountant from Pennsylvania who used to snack on chilled green grapes every night while reading before bed. He swore they were light and good for the heart, yet he often woke 2 or 3 times each night, puzzled and tired. On his doctor's advice, he shifted his grapes to lunchtime instead of evening. Within 1 week, his sleep transformed. I still eat my grapes, he said, smiling, but now I sleep through the night. If grapes are a favorite, enjoy them with awareness. Choose fresh, ripe grapes at room temperature, not cold from the refrigerator, and eat them earlier in the day before 3 p.m. A small handful, about half a cup, is enough. Avoid combining them with dairy or other sugary foods, which can slow digestion further. For those with diabetes or digestive sensitivity, always check with a healthcare provider, as grapes contain natural fructose that can affect blood sugar and fermentation in the gut. The real lesson here is that not all discomfort comes from what we eat, but from when and how we eat it. Grapes are not enemies of health. They simply ask for daylight to do their best work. When enjoyed early, They hydrate, strengthen the heart, and support healthy circulation. When eaten late, they whisper to the bladder instead of the brain. Listening to that quiet signal is part of aging wisely. Sometimes peace at night begins not with avoiding sweetness, but with giving it the right time to shine. We've reached the halfway point of this journey. Fruits like oranges, pineapples, tomatoes, and grapes may look wholesome, yet they quietly disturb the body's rest, stimulating the bladder and stealing away deep, healing sleep. For older adults, eating the wrong fruit at the wrong time can turn peaceful nights into restless ones, but there is hope. Some fruits do the opposite. They soothe the body, calm the nerves, and restore balance. These gentle choices work in harmony with the body's natural rhythm, helping you drift into deeper sleep and wake feeling renewed. Now that we know which fruits to avoid, let us move forward and discover the ones that truly heal, nourish, and bring peace to every quiet night. Number 1, bananas. The calm within the body. Have you ever closed your eyes at night, feeling your body ready to rest, only to wake again and again because your bladder refuses to stay quiet? That gentle but relentless urge can turn peaceful sleep into a nightly struggle. Many older adults tell the same story. I fall asleep easily, but I can't stay asleep. The frustration is quiet yet deep, the kind that steals energy from mornings and joy from the next day. It may surprise you to know that something as simple as what's on your dinner plate or even which fruit you eat before bed could be part of the reason. According to the National Institute on Aging, over 60% of adults past 60 experience nighttime urination, medically called nocturia. This isn't just about drinking too much water, it's about the body's chemistry. As we grow older, the kidneys filter more slowly, and the bladder becomes more sensitive, sending signals to the brain even when it's not full. Foods high in acid or sugar can make this sensitivity worse. When the bladder lining becomes irritated, it acts like a restless child. It wants attention all night long. Studies from Harvard Medical School suggest that even mild acidity in the evening meal can increase nighttime urination by up to 30%. And yet, there is a gentle ally waiting on your kitchen counter, the humble banana. Soft, sweet, and quietly powerful, the banana is one of nature's simplest remedies for the restless bladder. Unlike acidic fruits that excite the system, a ripe banana soothes it. Think of it as a natural lullaby for the body. Its potassium helps relax smooth muscles, including those around the bladder, while magnesium calms the nervous system, preparing the mind for rest. Each medium banana holds roughly 400 milligrams of potassium, supporting fluid balance and reducing spasms that trigger false urges. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that diets higher in potassium helped older adults improve bladder control and sleep duration. In simple terms, potassium teaches the bladder patience. A room temperature banana, eaten about an hour after dinner, gives the body a gentle signal. It's time to slow down, digest softly, and let go of tension. There's a story I remember from a 71-year-old retired librarian in Colorado who once shared that she dreaded going to bed because she knew she'd be up by midnight. She drank less water, stopped tea, even avoided soup. Nothing changed until she replaced her evening orange slices with one small banana. Within a week, she said, I slept 5 hours straight for the first time in years. That single familiar fruit gave her back something priceless, the feeling of rest. To make this simple habit work safely, enjoy one medium banana at room temperature about an hour after dinner. Avoid eating it cold, as chilled fruit can upset slower digestion. Those managing kidney disease or taking potassium-based medication should always check with a physician before increasing intake. For most older adults, though, it's a small, soothing addition that restores comfort. The truth is, healing often comes not from something new, but from noticing what has been quietly helping all along. The banana may seem ordinary, but within its simplicity lies wisdom. It reminds the body that rest is not a luxury, it's a rhythm we can return to. In every soft bite, there's a whisper from nature saying, peace is possible, even in the still hours of the night. Number 2, pears. Nature's peace for the digestive tract. It often begins with a heavy feeling after dinner, a quiet pressure in the belly that makes lying down uncomfortable. Many older adults describe it as a fullness that never settles. Hours later, that same pressure stirs the bladder awake. The connection between the stomach and the bladder is more intimate than most realize. What happens in the gut never stays in the gut, and for many, the key to better sleep starts not with the bladder itself, but with the food that surrounds it. According to research from the National Institutes of Health, more than half of adults over 60 experience some degree of digestive slowdown, which scientists call delayed gastric emptying. This slower movement in the intestines can cause gas and abdominal pressure pressing gently but persistently against the bladder. That pressure can trigger the need to urinate, even when the bladder is barely half full. Harvard Health publications also note that chronic constipation is one of the most overlooked causes of nighttime urination in older adults. When the intestines are backed up, the bladder cannot expand comfortably. The result is false urgency, poor sleep, and frustration that feels endless. Here, the pear becomes a quiet ally, soft, humble, and often underestimated. Grown in the cool valleys of Oregon and Washington, this gentle fruit has the rare combination of low acidity and soluble fiber. Unlike citrus fruits that spark activity, pears soothe. They move through the digestive tract like a soft brush, clearing what is heavy, calming what is tense. One medium pear provides about 5 grams of fiber, most of it soluble, which helps draw water into the intestines and keep bowel movements smooth. When digestion is light, the bladder feels free to rest. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging found that older adults who ate fiber-rich fruits like pears at least 4 times per week reported a 25% reduction in nighttime urination frequency compared to those who didn't. In simple terms, when the gut is at peace, the bladder stays quiet. Eating one ripe pear in the late afternoon around 4 p.m. allows enough time for digestion before bedtime. It's a small act that aligns with the body's natural rhythm. First clear, then calm, then rest. There was once a retired school principal from Maine who used to joke that he could set his watch by his bladder midnight and 3 a.m. without fail. He tried cutting water, skipping dinner, even limiting tea, but nothing worked. His daughter, a dietitian, suggested he add a pear to his afternoon snack instead of crackers. 2 weeks later, he called to say, "I'm sleeping through until dawn." Who knew fruit could do what medicine couldn't? It wasn't a cure, but a rediscovery of how harmony inside the gut creates peace everywhere else. For those who wish to try, wash the pear well, but keep the skin where much of the fiber lives. Eat it slowly, chew fully, and enjoy it at room temperature to support digestion. Those with diabetes should watch portions, as pears still contain natural sugar, and as always, it's wise to consult a doctor or nutritionist before making any dietary changes, especially if taking medication for bowel or bladder conditions. In the end, the pear teaches something larger than nutrition. It reminds us that balance is not about doing more, but easing what is heavy both in the body and in the mind. When digestion flows gently, sleep follows naturally. The pear, in its quiet sweetness, offers more than fiber. It offers a message of ease, showing that comfort, like health, begins when we make space to let go. Number 3, papaya, the tropical comfort for aging digestion. There is a moment every evening when the body decides whether it will rest easily or spend the night struggling. For many older adults, that decision is made right after dinner. The stomach feels tight, the chest slightly heavy, and sleep, though longed for, comes slowly. The problem is rarely dramatic. It's the quiet weight of indigestion that lingers for hours. What few people realize is that this discomfort can ripple downward, pressing on the bladder and disturbing the night with unnecessary trips to the bathroom. According to the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, nearly 40% of Americans over 65 experience some form of slow digestion or mild bloating after meals. This happens because stomach acid levels and digestive enzymes decrease with age, making it harder for the body to break down protein and fat. The result is a feeling of fullness, gas buildup, and increased abdominal pressure factors that can physically push against the bladder. The bladder, already more sensitive in older age, responds to this pressure by sending premature signals to the brain. Wake up, it's time to go. It's a chain reaction that begins in the gut but ends in a restless night. Here enters the papaya, a quiet healer from the tropics. For decades, doctors and nutritionists have studied its natural enzyme called papain, which aids in protein digestion. Papain acts like a gentle assistant to the stomach, helping it complete the work that aging enzymes can no longer do efficiently. 1 cup of ripe papaya provides around 140 milligrams of papain, along with vitamin C, potassium, and natural antioxidants. Unlike acidic fruits, papaya soothes rather than irritates. It is alkaline by nature, meaning it helps balance excess acid in the digestive tract. Think of it as a soft breeze for the stomach, cooling, balancing, and kind. In a 2020 study published by Frontiers in Nutrition, researchers found that participants over 60 who consumed 4 to 6 ounces of ripe papaya after dinner experienced a 22% reduction in nighttime urination episodes within 3 weeks. The explanation was simple. Better digestion led to less abdominal pressure and calmer bladder signaling. In everyday language, when the stomach rests quietly, the bladder rests too. A retired nurse from Florida once shared her story with me. She loved spicy evening meals, shrimp, gumbo, chili, or curry, but complained that every night she would wake around 2 a.m. to urinate, even if she had little to drink. On her neighbor's advice, she began eating a small slice of papaya after dinner instead of dessert. Within days, she noticed her stomach felt lighter and her sleep deeper. "It's like my body finally stopped arguing with itself," she said, laughing softly. Sometimes relief doesn't come from medicine, but from a piece of fruit that understands you. For those wishing to try this gentle habit, choose ripe papaya, soft orange flesh with a mild sweetness. Enjoy about 4 ounces, roughly half a cup, after dinner. Eat it plain, without lime or sugar, and avoid pairing it with milk or heavy foods. Always consult a healthcare professional if you are on medication for blood sugar or digestive conditions, as papaya can influence absorption. The beauty of papaya lies in its message. It teaches that comfort comes not from force but from flow. The older body does not need to fight itself. It needs support that speaks its language, soft, steady, and wise. When the stomach feels at peace, the mind follows, and sleep returns as it was always meant to be, deep, natural, and kind. Number 4, blueberries, the quiet defender. There is something almost poetic about the stillness of the night until it's interrupted by the unwelcome sound of footsteps heading toward the bathroom once again. For many older adults, that soft shuffle across a dark hallway has become part of the nightly routine. The body feels tired but restless, the mind foggy by morning. It's easy to think this is simply age catching up, but part of the reason lies deep within the invisible world of inflammation. Scientists at Tufts University and the National Institutes of Health have shown that low-grade inflammation increases steadily after the age of 60, affecting not just the joints or the heart, but also the delicate lining of the bladder. When these tissues are irritated, even small amounts of urine can feel urgent. Add to that the natural weakening of pelvic muscles and a bit of dehydration, and it becomes clear why so many people over 65 wake multiple times each night. In short, the bladder is not broken, it's inflamed and asking for calm. This is where the blueberry, a fruit as American as the morning sky, comes quietly to help. Small, round, and often overlooked, blueberries are packed with anthocyanins, the natural pigments that give them their deep blue color and powerful anti-inflammatory effect. Each half cup provides around 40 milligrams of these antioxidants, which research from the Journal of Gerontology found can reduce markers of inflammation by up to 25% in older adults. Blueberries also help regulate blood sugar and support the blood vessels that feed the kidneys and bladder, improving overall urinary balance. Think of them as nature's tiny shield, soft in taste, strong in purpose. In one study from the University of Maine, seniors who consume blueberries 5 times per week reported fewer episodes of nighttime urgency and improved sleep quality. The reason, according to researchers, is simple. When inflammation cools down, the bladder no longer overreacts. The fruit's gentle fiber and antioxidants teach the body to stay steady rather than alarmed. A retired park ranger from Michigan once told me that after decades of black coffee and donuts, he switched his mid-morning snack to a small bowl of blueberries mixed with plain yogurt. Within 2 weeks, he noticed not only fewer bathroom trips at night, but also more energy in the morning. It's like my system finally remembered what calm feels like, he said. For those who wish to add this quiet defender to their day, try half a cup of fresh or frozen blueberries in the morning, blended into oatmeal or eaten plain. Avoid sugary syrups or baked versions that hide the fruit's natural strength. Those on blood-thinning medication should check with a physician first, as blueberries can influence how the body processes certain drugs. The truth behind blueberries is as beautiful as their color. They heal quietly, without fanfare. They remind the body that strength need not be loud. Sometimes resilience grows from gentleness. In each small berry lies a whisper of balance, teaching that health, like peace, begins when we cool the fires within. Every story we've explored in this journey reveals a quiet truth about health and aging. The body never stops speaking. It simply asks us to listen. The fruits we eat, the hour we choose to eat them, even the way we end our day, all shape how deeply we rest and how fully we live. For many older adults, those nightly awakenings once felt like an unavoidable part of getting older. Yet we now know the difference often lies in something as simple as timing. Fruits like oranges, pineapples, tomatoes, and grapes may look perfectly healthy, but can quietly disturb the night, awakening the bladder and keeping the body on alert. The problem isn't the fruit itself, it's when and how it's eaten. The same foods that refresh us by day can overstimulate us after dark. The message is clear. Health isn't just about choosing good foods. It's about choosing the right moment for them. On the other hand, gentle fruits like bananas, pears, papayas, and blueberries offer balance instead of disruption. They calm inflammation, ease digestion, and help the body release tension. In their quiet simplicity lies a timeless wisdom. That healing rarely demands more. It simply asks for care, rhythm, and awareness. Eat lightly at night, listen closely to your body, and remember that moderation is as important as nutrition. Even the healthiest food can harm in excess, and even the most ordinary food can heal when eaten with mindfulness. And before you make any changes, always talk with your doctor to ensure these habits are right for you. So tonight, as you rest your body and prepare for another day, carry this truth with you. Peace doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters, at the right time, with intention. If this message spoke to you, I invite you to stay connected with us. Subscribe to this channel for more stories that nurture the mind, body, and spirit. Share this video with a friend or loved one who deserves better sleep, and let us know in the comments what changes you'll start tonight. Thank you for spending your time here with us. May your evenings be peaceful, your mornings bright, and your heart steady in the rhythm of good health.